There's a plant growing in your garden right now that you probably pulled out and thrown away. And it's actually one of the most powerful fertilizers you could ever use, the stinging nettle. Most people treat it like trash, but it holds more potassium, magnesium, and calcium than most gardeners would ever guess. And here's the part that sounds almost too good to be true. It costs you absolutely nothing. Over the next few minutes, we're going to show you a method that turns weeds you already have to remove into a free liquid fertilizer, one that can outperform most of what's sitting on a garden center shelf. You'll learn why the word weed is actually the wrong word for most of these plants, how a single bucket of water can extract their nutrients without spreading a single seed across your beds, and 3 simple recipes you can start using immediately. Once you understand this, you will never look at a patch of nettles the same way again. Before we get into the method, it's worth pausing on a word almost everyone misunderstands: weed. The actual definition is simple. A weed is just a plant growing somewhere it isn't wanted. Nothing more. A nettle at the edge of a wood isn't a weed at all. It's part of a functioning ecosystem, feeding the soil, supporting insects, holding ground that would otherwise erode. It only becomes a weed the moment it shows up in the middle of a vegetable bed, crowding out the tomatoes. Not because the plant is bad, because it's in the wrong place at the wrong time. That single misunderstanding is the reason so many gardeners spend money on fertilizer every single year, while a free source of nutrients grows right outside their door. Permaculture growers have known this for a long time. One of the simplest techniques is called chop and drop. Instead of clearing plant material away, you cut it where it stands and leave it on the ground to break down and feed the soil right there. A close cousin of that is chop, move, and drop, gathering plant material from outside the growing area, things like nettles or dock growing along a fence line or path. Chopping them up and carrying them into the garden as mulch. That does 2 jobs at once. It adds nutrients directly to the soil, and it creates a protective layer that holds moisture in dry weather while still letting excess water drain away when the weather turns wet. But there's a second method, one that goes even further than mulching, and that's what this video is really about. Anyone who has thrown flowering or seeding weeds onto a compost pile knows the problem that follows. Those seeds rarely die in the heap. Months later, when that compost gets spread across the garden, the seeds go with it. And suddenly, the same weed problem is back, just in a different bed. This is exactly where soaking weeds in water solves 2 problems at once. First, the seeds stay contained in the bucket instead of being broadcast across the soil. Second, instead of waiting for slow decomposition, the nutrients are pulled straight out of the plant material and into the water, which means they're available to roots far faster than anything sitting in a compost heap ever could be. Something you were going to pull out and discard anyway becomes a completely free, nutrient-dense liquid fertilizer. There are 2 ways to approach this. The first is a single plant feed. Pick one type of weed and soak it on its own. Dock, for example, which is particularly rich in potassium. This makes sense when the soil needs a specific nutrient boost, say, for next season's tomato crop, which benefits heavily from potassium going into fruiting. The second approach is a mixed multi-purpose feed. Nettles bring calcium and a strong dose of nitrogen, which is excellent for leafy growth. Dandelions and creeping thistle add iron into the mix. Combine those with dock and whatever else is being cleared from the beds, and the result is a balanced, all-purpose liquid feed, without needing to calculate the exact nutrient profile of every plant going into the bucket. The strength of this method comes from diversity, not precision. Here's how it's actually made. Use a leak-proof bucket or any similar container, fill it with the chosen weeds, and add just enough water to fully cover the plant material. Give it a stir. At this stage, a handful of leaf mold from underneath a mature deciduous tree can also be added. This is a technique inspired by Jadam-style growing, where the goal is to introduce the biology living under the tree into the brew, speeding up the breakdown and adding a biological boost to the feed. Cover loosely with a lid or with a board or a few planks if no lid is available, and leave it to steep for at least 2 weeks, up to around 2 months for a stronger result. After just 2 weeks, the feed is ready to use. Strain it through a sieve before applying it. so plant fragments don't clog a watering can. Dilute at a ratio of roughly 1 part feed to 10 parts water. That dilution matters. Applied too strong, a liquid feed like this can actually scorch and damage roots instead of feeding them. If the brew has been sitting for 5 or 6 months or longer, it becomes significantly more concentrated. So the dilution ratio should drop to around 1 to 50 instead. But what if the goal is to keep this running all year, without starting a brand new batch from scratch every few weeks? There's a simple way to do that too. Every time liquid is drawn out, simply top the bucket back up with fresh weeds and a bit more water. The solids stay in place, continuing to break down, while the bucket keeps producing usable liquid feed on an ongoing basis. In colder climates, it's worth moving the bucket somewhere sheltered before temperatures drop. Once it freezes solid for 2 or 3 months, breakdown stops completely and nothing more happens until it thaws. Late in the season is actually the ideal time to harvest as many nutrients as possible from the year's weeds, letting them break down slowly over winter, so the feed is ready and waiting at the start of spring. There's one more source of free liquid feed that's easy to overlook simply because it doesn't look like a weed: grass. Anyone without a lawn, working entirely from raised beds for instance, won't have this option. But for anyone with a lawn, a path edge, or even a patch of rough grass, clippings make an excellent base for a liquid feed in exactly the same way nettles or dock do. The process is identical. Fill a bucket with fresh clippings, cover with water, let it steep, strain, and dilute before applying. Grass clippings break down quickly because they're soft and high in nitrogen, which makes this one of the fastest liquid feeds to prepare from start to finish. It's a useful option to keep in rotation alongside nettle and dock feeds, especially during the months when lawns are being mowed regularly and clippings are otherwise just thrown away. Here's the uncomfortable part. This method costs nothing. No product, no packaging, no shelf space at the garden center. And that's exactly why almost nobody talks about it. A bottle of liquid fertilizer can be sold. A bucket of rainwater and weeds pulled from your own garden cannot. This isn't some hidden conspiracy. It's simple convenience. It's easier to grab a bottle off a shelf than to wait 2 weeks for a bucket to steep. But that convenience is exactly what keeps so many gardeners paying for something that's already growing, for free, right outside their back door. Every bucket started at home is a small step away from that throwaway, buy it new mindset, and a step toward a garden that increasingly feeds itself. Go look at your garden today. What's getting pulled out as weeds isn't waste. It's fertilizer waiting to be used. 1 bucket, some water, 2 weeks of patience. That's all it takes.